So, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. So, the case that's kind of gripping everyone at the moment is the Idaho student murders. And look, there's a lot going on around this case at the moment. Now, in terms of what the situation is, who did it, and who are the suspects, and how far along law enforcement are with the investigation, that all remains somewhat of a mystery. And look, it doesn't mean that they're not getting on with the case and they don't know things. It just means that, look, maybe we're just not privy to it at the moment, and maybe that's a good thing. But when cases like this hit the streets, people do start looking themselves, and people can be very industrious when it comes to cases like this. They can indeed find out information, and information is starting to come out right now. And, the last couple of days, 2 or 3 days, the focus on the internet sleuth world, if you like, has been who is this target? Law enforcement straight away come out the gates and they said, look, this is a targeted attack. And, the public do not need to be worried. They then kind of backpedaled and said that they were wrong in saying that. But now more information has come out, and it would appear that perhaps they weren't jumping the gun, and perhaps they had reason to say that this was indeed a target attack. Now, Xana, she's one of the girls who sadly lost her life during this horrible, horrible attack. And look, what's so important about Xana, and why would she be the target? Well, a couple of reasons. Now, the first being that her mum has been arrested, and it would appear that her arrest and the charges that she's facing seem to be connected to narcotics and trafficking. That's the word on the street. Now, whether this is indeed factual, has she got caught up in something, who knows? But what I'm going to do before we go on to the next reason as to why she could potentially be a target, and this is unconnected to mum, we will just have a look at this piece of information here. So this is the information regarding her mum. So this is Xana Kanoodle's mum. And what they're saying is this. Now, I'm just trying to see what screen is best. So, who is Xana Kanoodle's mother? Web sleuths dig up Cara Kanoodle's alleged November 19 arrest on drug charges. Now, rather than going through the entire inmate list, I'm going to put a screenshot here for you guys because I went through there and found her within that. And they're basically saying, look, there's a big bond to get her out. Look, as tragedy continues to dominate headlines and authorities investigate what happened, web sleuths are doing their part by digging up information on all possible angles. Is anyone going to call out the fact that Xana Kanoodle's mother, Cara, was arrested on November 19th on drug charges and is being held on a $50,000 bond? One Twitter user attached a screenshot from the current inmate list, and that's what I showed you, the screenshot of there. The Kootenai County Jail in Idaho. That's pretty stiff bond and happened so close to the death of Xana and the roommates not to be relevant, they added. And look, could it be that it's nothing to do with it? Of course it could. This doesn't have to be related, but you have to then look at the severity of this. Somebody has gone into this property and they have made a point. Now, this could be that we've spoke about the fact that this could be indeed a crime of passion. It could be a crime of frustration, because the manner with which it happened reeks of both. It's either someone who was very, very jealous or very, very angry, and it was portrayed in the devastation that they left. But if you're not looking at one of these two things, then you're looking at someone who wanted to make a point. And the narcotic and trafficking world, as we know, can do that. Now, was money owed? Was somebody up to their neck in doo-doo? Shit. And did that spill out onto these teens? I think over the next few days, weeks, it may be that it's confirmed that this is no connection. It may be that there is indeed a connection and law enforcement are looking. But I would imagine that there is a potential here that this is why law enforcement came out of the gate so early on saying that this was targeted. Did they know that Cara was involved in something that could have spilled into the world of her daughter? Now, the information surrounding her mum has been scarce. You know, it's not being said, and this is why. But now her father has also come out and he has said that, among some other stuff, and I'm not going to go too in depth in what Dad was saying, because some of it was a bit weird, if I'm honest, but he was talking about how strong his daughter was and all this kind of stuff. But look, the guy's going to be going through the mill, so we can't be too hard on him. But he did say that his daughter had gone to him and said that she had had a fight with a male in the week before, approximately a week before the murder. Now, it would appear by the words, and I'll read this. It says, he was shocked because she was always with herself, but she had shared about her fight with some guy with her father a week before her death. So Jeff has been guessing that the murderer might be the boy she talked about. So the investigators will probably speak to the boy before concluding. So I would say that there's a potential there that they know who it is. This might have already been spoken to, and it might have been one of the Jacks. But you know, there's more and more stuff coming out, and I think we knew that there would. As time progresses and we dig deeper and deeper into the lives of these victims, what goes hand in hand with dig, that's dirt. If you dig deep enough, you are going to hit the mud at some point. And you know, it's I don't know what else to say. It's a difficult one. You know, at the end of the day, these victims, they deserve justice. I do have questions over if Xana was indeed the target and this was retaliation. Why would the perpetrator go overkill? Why would they end up targeting everybody that they did? Time will tell on that. You know, this is almost like one of these situations we see when there's a mass kill them, when they're angry with the masses. But then the question is why did they not go after the two others? And that again goes hand in hand with the fact that this could have indeed been connected to Xana. A lot of people feel that the person who entered this house knew about the layout of the house. But then why did they leave the two remaining people? That would have just been more victims, or I just don't know. There's so many questions, and law enforcement, you can see why they have got the work cut out. There's a lot of stuff to go through. There's a lot of stuff to try and understand. And when you start adding things like this in, it just adds more to the mix that they've got to try and decipher and understand whether it is indeed connected. And when you start breaking ground on the narcotics and trafficking world, you're in a world of hurt. You're in a world of hurt. You've got some dangerous people, a lot of people, a huge, huge, huge industry. And they're not scared of getting their hands dirty. We've seen it. So I ask you now, where are you at the moment? Is this the first you're hearing of this? Have you already heard it? I know some people have got it out there, but there's a lot of people who were completely unaware of this. But I think at this stage, do you feel that this could have indeed been a catalyst for what happened, or do you at this stage feel that this is nothing to do with it, it's completely coincidental, and this is still someone who was very angry or very upset with these students, perhaps another student or someone close by, like the neighbour? What is going on? Why have we not got any further forward? Are we just waiting for the trap to snap? Let me know, and I'll catch you all in the next one.